Okay. Then we have the lovely task of looking at this. Look at that, Moloch 5. Scanned so close, yet so far. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess we'll go to Moloch 2. Why not? Well, this does look kind of nice. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I did mention Final Fantasy X before. Yeah, you know, I don't know. It is funny to me. I'm trying to think. I think my biggest problem with Final Fantasy X is, I don't hate the sphere grid, but I hate the UI, the sphere grid. I think, like, I honestly do kind of, like, feel more connected to the characters because of, like, voice acting and, more in-depth cutscenes, or more cutscenes with, you know, more animation, you know, that doesn't have to be pre-rendered. It was kind of like one thing that, I don't know, I mean, I guess maybe I don't know, I'd have to get into the weeds of all the Final Fantasies, because I think, like, at some point it's just like, well, I don't know if I really like the story of Final Fantasy IX more than Final Fantasy VII, necessarily. Especially because, honestly, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a dumbass. I do like it when stories are, not necessarily spelled out, but, like, there's better ways to... Sometimes they can be very cryptic and vague, and I think there was a lot of things with Sephiroth that, like, didn't really get, like, too spelled out. And I think, like, Final Fantasy X is better in that regard. But, like, I don't know, do I like the themes of 10 more than I do 9 or 7 or 5 or 6? Again, I'd have to go into the... Because I think 6 was really good. I did like 9. I did like 7. And so far I am liking 10. I also liked 5. 13 was alright, but I think that would probably be... Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10 would be conveniently my top 5. I don't know if I would put it in any order, though. But there's things like the cutscenes and having characters more animated that's like, oh my god. Like, if that happened, I think I would probably feel way more attached to Freya. Because, like, she goes through so much. But, like, the scene on the bridge, or the scene on the ship after Clara, it's such an event that happens, and she is just like... I wish that they had a pre-rendered cutscene and gave her a little bit more emotion, because you know... certainly can't see her eyes from most positions, especially that position. And she just sort of has a moment, gets back up, and, you know, like, and that kind of is her character, I think, in a nutshell, and, like, she is a soldier, a seasoned soldier, and I love her character, but it just feels like there could have been more, and it feels like, oh, she is great, but, like, maybe is she a little too great, you know? I don't know why this was turned into explicitly about Freya. But, you know, and I mean, there's other characters who have other interesting situations. I mean, I love Vincent Valentine, but he doesn't have that much story. And also, I don't know, he's like, I mean, a gunner that has, I don't know, it would be nice if the, limit breaks were a different system. Because, like, I mean, he has, like, shape-shifting powers, and that's awesome, but, like, I don't know. It's not as cool. Like, I would want, like, if I existed in Final Fantasy, I would want to be Vincent Valentine, probably. At least in the sense of having shape-shifting powers and being a gunner. I would want to probably be, like, a red mage, but a red mage with a gun or ranged weapon. That would probably be what I would want to be. And if not, like, having healing magic, having buffing magic. That would be my thing. And in Final Fantasy XII, which I think has more of a proper job system, that'll be the thing I try to go for, with at least one character. And I know, I mean, like, technically, you could probably kind of do something with the sphere grid. I mean, literally, like, the sphere grid is an interesting system. I mean, like, you can't just go anywhere on the sphere grid and get whatever you want. There are, you know, blocks that you have to, you know, you have to get a level 4 barrier block, and you can only get those at a certain time in the story. I think from certain enemies, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, there is kind of a prescribed path for characters, unless you want to get really crazy with it. But yeah, I think just overall, in general, they could do better with the sphere grid. I think that the Crystarium, I want to say the Crystarium was better, at least. I think it was kind of a pain to navigate, but I think it was faster in 13. And in 13.2, it was just completely linear. And it was linear, but it did have, I think, some nuance to it. If I recall correctly. Where, like, you had an upgrade path, and it would reset. And it would reset when you filled the board, and that would be, like, you kind of you leveling up. But, like, you could put, I think, if I remember correctly, there were, like, small nodes and big nodes, and if you put mana spheres, or mana crystals into the big spheres, or the big nodes, then you would get more mana, or whatever, or HP, or attack, or, you know, stuff. And, like, there wasn't, like, you know, you weren't gonna, like, you probably weren't going to, you know, have a huge amount of freedom with that, but you did have some influence on it, which was cool. And I don't know what Lightning Returns was like. But yeah. I am trying to think, because honestly, like, I like Final Fantasy VI's story more than 5. I think like, you know, 6 has an insane roster of characters, but I think at the end of the day, they do actually like do interesting stuff with it, and they handle it pretty well. You know, it could be better. But you know, I think it's more than fine, but also, like, I don't know, 5 had characters, they had classes you could, you know, customize, even though the customization was kind of in vain. But, I don't know, I've heard people say that, like, the story of 5 is dumb or whatever. I don't know. I mean, like, if I had to be like, hey, go play this classic Final Fantasy game, I probably would tell people to, hey, go and play Final Fantasy V. Was Final Fantasy V... Did they skip Final Fantasy V for North American releases? I can't remember. I want to say it might have been Final Fantasy I in North America was Final Fantasy III. Final Fantasy II in North America was Final Fantasy IV, and Final Fantasy III North America was Final Fantasy VI. But I would like to think that 1, 2, and 3 in North America was 4, 5, and 6, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, I can't remember. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what actually, you know what was my favorite minigame in the entire franchise? That's a good question. Because I don't think there was one. Like, I never really got the hang of Triple Triad. Everything in 7 wasn't bad, but I don't care for it. I liked Tetra Masters more. I did like Tetra Masters more, but I think I would prefer, well, I don't know. But I think it is easier is the thing.
It is a beautiful day, huh?
And, oh my god. Oh my god, are we serious? What was I gonna say? I don't know. Oh, I mean, I hate Chocobo Hot and Cold. I guess, like, the Sphere... I hate Blitzball. I hate Blitzball. I could probably get used to Blitzball, though. I don't think I could ever get used to Chocobo Hot or Cold. Yeah. Any other minigames I'm not thinking of, so... yeah. Anyway, till next time. Have a good day. Great day, even. Chowskis.